Good evening and welcome back, everyone. Tonight we're fighting the high rank version of Uth Duna. Pretty much the same fight as before, even down to some of the locations and whatnot, except this time it doesn't start out as a group hunt. I call in the group stuff as a flare anyway, but it's not really any different. It's same old sort of thing. I still have the same opinions I did whenever it was a low rank fight, except she manages to maintain some of the level of damage that she was doing. She does end out carding me once, but it's largely from carelessness. This isn't one of my favorite fights. I think the creature looks cool, but other than the weird sort of gravity-defying giant belly flop move that it doesn't really do anything else that's all that interesting. Just doesn't have that many creative attacks. But it's a cool looking concept creature where it's got the weird sort of shell membrane around it. I feel like they could have made it a little bit more intense, a little bit more interesting. I'm sure come the time for the release of a master rank version, there will be a lot more breadth to this fight. But it's just not one of my favorite new creatures. Could be worse, could be better. Not terrible as far as an Apex goes. Even whenever you start fighting the tempered versions, it's one of the, I think, easier Apexes that you can take on. Most of its moves are just really heavily choreographed. There's not a lot for it to catch you off guard with, as long as you're paying at least somewhat attention and actually trying a little bit. So, I don't know. It could also just be me having done this for so long that at this point it's hard for the game to really surprise me unless the monster is just almost unfair levels of aggressive. Which I guess realistically, thinking about a lot of the harder fights from Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, that's about the right way to describe them. Like, the only point where it really starts getting super difficult is when they're almost an unfair level of difficult. Like Raging Merkidios, really cool fight. Slip up once or twice and you're done. Furious Rajang, same way. Super fast, really hard to find openings. If you're patient enough to just take little pecks at him here and there, not really that bad, but kind of cheap. So, at least all the fights in this game do feel fair. I actually think it's pretty well balanced for a high rank game. I know I've mentioned this in other videos, and it's going to be reiterated whenever I actually do my full-length review video, but I feel like the game is actually pretty good. I've been enjoying it. I'm still dumping a lot of time into it, even doing stuff that I'm not recording just for fun. I don't think it's a bad game. I think a lot of people have misplaced expectations for a high-rank release, because it's the same cycle every single time. I've seen it pretty much every time since Try. We didn't really get Monster Hunter 4 straight up. I can't remember exactly what the next baseline game was that we got pre-World, because World's where it really started guaranteeing that we got every release. Before then, we didn't always get every release equally in the West. But the high rank versions of the games are never as hard as the master rank versions or G rank as they used to be. And it's just every time a new game comes out, each previous game was more popular than the last one. And so there's a whole lot of people figuring out that, yeah, the game sort of takes a step back when it resets and changes location, changes everything back to the beginning. And everyone's good enough that high rank is pretty simple. They can't start out grinding your face into the ground. This isn't Dark Souls. They're not wanting to be nearly inaccessible. And the truth is, even with the Dark Souls series, a lot of people don't like to admit this, if you're a beginner and you just grind a couple levels, those games get substantially easier. Just like with Dark Souls, the only way for a high-rank Monster Hunter to be a bit of a challenge is to kind of do some self-imposed rules. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm trying to flesh out what sort of rule set I want to play with, but I think one thing I'm going to do on the channel after I finish putting up videos for the main run, do a review video, maybe do some more joke guide videos, which in case you haven't seen that, you should go watch it. It's just a joke video anyway. And then do an actual challenge run where I come up with my own rule set. Now, I'm not crazy. Like, I'm not a glutton for punishment, so I'm not going to go through and do some sort of crazy, like, super difficult, like, no armor, no hits, no deaths run. I'm just going to come up with something to make it a little bit more difficult and a little bit more interesting. Like, one rule that I've pretty well settled on is anytime I triple cart, I have to rotate to a new weapon. Like, it has to be a completely new class of weapon. And one other rule that I'm going to impose is whatever the current maximum rank is that I can forge, I can only upgrade my weapons to one rank below that. So I'm not quite sure what sort of rule I'm going to set as far as armor goes. I think I'm just not going to allow decorations nor talismans, so it just has to be the baseline armor sets, so whatever skills they come with, that's what I'm stuck with. But anyway, I'm going to flesh that out a little bit more before committing into it and then see how that goes. I know I've been talking about everything but Uth Duna, but to be honest with you, if you watch the low rank fight, to be honest, the cinematic nature of it, the way you encounter it in the quest, makes it way more interesting than watching this one. It's just dollar store namielle would be about the way I would describe Uth Duna. Uth Duna is namielle if namielle ate a jagras. Alright. Anyway, I'm going to stop here, set the volume back up, and let you finish watching the fight if you want to watch the rest of it in peace. Thank you for watching so far. Like, comment below, and remember, if I can beat it, so can you.
Opportunity strikes. Easy now. your move.